So Lola Vice wishes Damian Priest a happy birthday, and she says, "Happy birthday, baby! I'm the luckiest girl in the world." So they are like dating. So shout them out. The legend, the GOAT, Bret Hart, says he starts putting over and blind rating pro wrestlers essentially.
Hulk Hogan or Goldberg?
Hogan.
Hulk Hogan or Shawn Michaels?
Shawn Michaels.
Shawn Michaels or Ric Flair?
Ric Flair.
Ric Flair or Mr. Perfect?
Mr. Perfect.
Mr. Perfect or Macho Man Randy Savage?
That's a tough one. That's a tie. If I had to pick one, I'd pick Randy only because I didn't get to wrestle him enough times.
Randy Savage or Triple H?
Randy Savage by a trillion miles.
So Triple H was the first one to get shut down.
Randy Savage or Sting?
That's another tough one. But I'd take Randy Savage.
Randy Savage or Chris Jericho?
Randy Savage.
Randy Savage or Kurt Angle?
Kurt Angle, because I never got to work with him.
But no 5-star matches, but he got 4 3/4 though, Brian. So it's like the same thing. So it means me giving out quarter stars literally means nothing by my own words, Brian.
Kurt Angle or John Cena?
That's another tie because I never got to work with either one of them. So I don't even know which one I would pick. I would say John Cena.
John Cena or The Undertaker?
Undertaker.
Undertaker or The Rock?
I'll say The Rock.
The Rock.
Damn. So even here's the thing. People say Bret is bitter, but it's like, is he just honest and doesn't give a, it could be that. Because to pick The Rock, like, why? He doesn't need to do that. But he's doing it for a reason.
Or Stone Cold Steve Austin?
The Rock, only because I didn't work with him enough times.
The Rock or Bret Hart?
Oh, I wouldn't want to wrestle Bret Hart. He was just too tough.
GOAT. That's GOAT status right there. So here's what Jade Cargill looked like. And we'll just briefly, she's smiling. This is, of course, pro wrestling. It's prosthetic. It's just, this was Minecraft action. And that was Jade, getting dinged up there. I mean, truly, I've seen some nasty gashes in my day in MMA. That is among the worst. You can essentially see your skull in Minecraft. And that is absolutely brutal. That's hard way for sure. Because when we were watching it last night, I was like, oh, I don't think she gigged. Like, why the would you do that in this match? Makes no sense. And so we're like, it's obviously hard way, but I don't think we understand the extent of it. And some people are mad. They're like, oh, Nia Jax should be held accountable. And I just don't get that, man. Like, what you signed up for. She's reckless. She's hurt some people. Okay, man, you're working with Green Jade. Like, I'm sorry. It's a two-way street, and those are battle scars that you sign up for, unfortunately, in pro wrestling, And good on her to finish the match. If she had to stop the match right there, I'd have been like totally understandable. She continued. Jade's a legend. That's like, we know what she's made of now. You know what I'm saying? Like, she ain't no foo-foo lame in there, powder puff. Like, she's had a pretty easy ride in the wrestling business overall in AEW and WWE. Let's be honest. She went out there, finished the match, was still selling, got her spots, did what she needed to, fired up, had a huge gash like that. Pause. I'm dying over her huge gash, with all due respect. No, but she held it down. Jade put it, she's ice cold, man. If you didn't think she was a hooper, as the kids say, Jade can ball, as the kids would say, right? Like, that's like a stripe literally that she earned, And it's not about like being hardcore, man. It's like she fought through some adversity there and didn't like give up on the performance and all of that stuff, right? She was locked in. So, and she knew going in there, you could die essentially. Yeah. Shout her out, man. She just gained uber bonus points. And some people are like, man, Jade was really good in that match. She was the best one in that match. Here's the thing, dude. I've been saying it little by little. She is getting better. You can see the WWE wearing off on her finally. However, is she there 100%? No. Like, Tiffany had to ring general that match. And would she have done better in NXT? Yes. Jade should have been in NXT first. I think everyone can admit that. Not a big deal, though. It's not the end of the world. She's starting to catch on. And that sort of is like, she leveled up a point there, right? So she leveled up in that last right there for sure. because next time she goes out there and doesn't have a humongous scar on her face and isn't bleeding everywhere and has to do her spot, she's going to be like, oh, I get it, you know? Like, she's just going to understand it one level up there. And I don't know. I'm just glad she's okay. And I'm glad there's a picture of her smiling. She's wearing it proud, you know? That means she loves this. She's embracing the grind, bruv. And, you know, thank God she's okay. Now, if this was AEW and someone got split open like that, would I be way more harsh on them? Yup. Why? Because they do maimings and shit. Do I think Jade needs to be doing hardcore shit? No. Was it just a botch that, you know, that split her open way wider than anybody anticipated? Yes. So that rarely happens in WWE. I'm not about to like condemn them for that, you know? And Nia, no, like she has, like, okay, people have gotten hurt wrestling her in the past. Since she's been on this last run, I just think it hasn't happened nearly as frequently. Here's the thing, like Charlotte hurt Kyrie so bad that people thought she wasn't going to be able to maybe even wrestle again. There was rumors going around. So do we condemn Charlotte for that? I don't fucking know, man. Nia's never like ended anyone's career or anything like that. Even Monet like stingered fucking Paige and like ended her career effectively, almost, right? So we can't just start like, you know, Nia didn't end Jade's career or anything. We can't fucking like condemn her like that, you know? That's my take on it. Speaking of condemning people, Alberto Del Rio's return, would it be a major boost for WWE? I don't know about for WWE. I don't even need to see him in WWE, but if they started putting him on those AAA shows, like, honestly, I don't care. What? He victimized people and go. Honestly, man, I don't even, he's not in prison and shit, right? If he, like, that's all I can say. I don't know what to tell you. Like, if he was in prison and locked up and shit, I'd be like, yeah, that's fucked, you know? I don't even know the details. Who knows what was reported that was true and what wasn't? Some people in the IWC are like, he's a piece of shit. People behind the scenes who know him, I haven't heard anyone trash him ever, if he's ever been brought up. And I'll just leave it at that. I've never heard anyone say anything bad about the guy. Not that I'm like fucking asking around and I know his brother or his fucking cousin or his fucking, you know, people, whatever. I'm just saying no one's shit on the guy. And in that regard, and I'll just say this, man, the people in Mexico want it. So who are we to tell the Mexican, and he's still wrestling the AAA Mexico shows. So if they do a AAA show and Rey Mysterio's in the ring, hate on Rey. He's the one saying, I'll make sure he comes back. He said that on the mic to the Mexican crowd. He said that on the mic in the crossover show. Hate on Rey then. And I don't actually want you guys to hate on Rey, but don't hate on me for having a take that Rey Mysterio also has and other people also share. Okay, I got to be honest. Like, I'm not offended. If he came back to WWE, would I be offended? No, but would I give a fuck or be like, game changer, or think it wasn't bad taste? Maybe a little bit. Maybe I wouldn't care. I would just like, okay, because let's be honest, he's a little bit past, not a little bit, like he's just past what he was in his day. He'll never recapture that, I don't think, right? And then what would he do in WWE? Oh, is it Miss Parker? Damn, nice. I still think Soul drops the belt. I think Parker could get this win. Parker rules. But when it comes to Alberto, if he were back on like SmackDown or Raw, what would he honestly do? I just don't even see a spot for him there. But if they used him on the crossover shows like Alberto versus Dirty Dom, yeah, I don't give a fuck. I'm actually game for it. And if they give him to the Mexican fans, they're already doing that, you know? So who are we? Oh, they're going to change AAA and what makes it good. I've seen people say that who hate on WWE. Okay, well, they tried to get rid of Alberto and he made it really fucking good for a while there, selling out houses and shit. People are petitioning for WWE to bring him back. I'm not going to sign this petition to bring Del Rio back to Raw or whatever. I don't care. I don't think he makes one difference if he comes back to Raw or whatever. If it was a one-off or like a Rumble appearance, okay, maybe test it that way first. As far as in Mexico, they're using him. I'm chill with that. If they want to use him on the crossovers, It's not going to make me not watch the show. And if he gets heat and we boo him and want him to lose, then that's even more money. To anyone he's victim or anyone who's like, fuck him. There's all these, I don't fucking know, dude. I mean, he's not in prison. So that's all I can fucking say, right? I mean, there's nothing that, I mean, if Paige is looking to come back and Del Rio's there and everyone's like, Del Rio's connected to the Stephanie Vaquer shit and blah, blah, blah. Well, she's in AAA. He's producing shit there. He's backstage at all those shows. And that shit's all squashed. You know, like, I don't know. There was all those crazy stories too. Dragon Lee can't work with, and Dragon Lee's a scumbag because he defended, or this guy defended whatever. I can't keep track of all that shit, especially not when it happened in CMLL or AAA or whatever. Shit works differently in Mexico, bro. And that's my take on it, honestly. So just as a pro wrestling fan, yeah, Del Rio is doing some cool shit. I don't like what they do with the lighting. I don't like this speed shit, or when they do the lighting for the Fiend or Mystico or whatever. I don't give a fuck about that stuff, man. And yeah, that's my take. And hate me if you want. I don't know. You can't please everybody. And that was Ichi ni Sanda. For AEW news. Tony Khan has an important announcement. Oh, yeah, I just ran here to tell you about the tag titles. It's great. So AEW World Tag Team Championships were revealed. The Women's World Tag Team titles were revealed on Dynamite by Tony Khan and Renee Paquette. And they look exactly like the men's. Just some white diamonds in there. So, I don't know. This is a pretty ugly belt. I'm not going to lie. I don't really like it. And I just don't think he should be doing this. I really don't. But he's going to keep doing what he wants until they're booted off TV. And then he's just going to go, well, I had a great run. One of the best. It was great. So AEW files trademarks for Bacon Brawl. And I quote tweeted this and said, this is a match between the fans and where they fight for better seating. The sickos duke it out in the Bacon Brawl for who gets to sit in a better spot. So AEW Dynamite ratings were 638,000.14 in the 18 to 49. Yeah, I guess the ratings were all flubbed up. Okay, and we're going to dive into that when we talk about Dave Meltzer a little bit later. Dynamite viewership was down from last week with the 18 to 49. Dynamite averaged 638K viewers, 0.14 in the key demo, and the fifth lowest in history in the key demo, etc. So do you think Britt Baker will eventually make a comeback in AEW or not? So there's an unfortunate sign for Britt Baker's future in AEW. For those, so this is what PW Insider had to say. For those who have asked, we're told Britt Baker was not at last night's Dynamite in Pittsburgh. So she wasn't even there to like come say hi or anything. And yeah, she broke up with Adam Cole and people don't like her back there. So, and then they're talking shit to Elbu about stuff. And then he's making shit up on top of that. And it just, yeah, man, it's just, it's unfortunate. She really got the raw end of the deal there. And she used to participate in that shit though. So maybe that's just karma. Like she would participate in the cliquey bullying of others. Then it happened to her. And now she's like gone and forgotten about. So, here we go. One source, this is what Dave had to say. One source with pay-per-view numbers said that, AEW All Out did numbers similar to Revolution. He's lying. He's absolutely, utterly lying. He knows that the more, like, the thinner that AEW's pay-per-view gets, you know, like the more things they're on, the less easy it is to fact check this. So he's getting more frivolous with his lies. And that would be 135,000 to 140,000 buys. Well ahead of most expectations. Yeah, because you lied about it, Dave. You just made it up. They did not. Liar! So Dan says, wow, the only source for AEW pay-per-view numbers, and they exceeded his expectation again. No one saw this coming. Like, Dave is the source, and it exceeded his expectations, of course, because he just made it up. So Switchblade goes, Google Trends data shows interest. So we covered how All Out had 2K people watching it on average throughout the night. 2,000 watching it on YouTube. The biggest streamer. Okay? They were in the chat, 2K. So that means like 2K. Meanwhile, we've seen some AEW pay-per-view numbers with 9K and 6K watching and shit, right? So Switchblade says Google Trends data shows interest in All Out was down 8% from Forbidden Door and was the lowest for a pay-per-view in 2025. YouTube Live pay-per-view was down 60% from Forbidden Door. Right? So the idea behind that, Brian, is that the people watching in the chat on the AEW YouTube have to have bought the pay-per-view, or else I don't even know if you can be in the chat, or else they're just like watching it somewhere else than hanging out in the chat on YouTube. I don't know, man. So for All In, there was like, I think 9K watching on average. It was only 2K for All Out. So Dave is completely lying here. He's just coping, spurging, and lying. It's fucking hilarious. We're going to cover that more in depth. But yeah, here's the Google Trend data. Okay? And he quote tweets it and just shows you it was down from Forbidden Door. So no, it didn't do better pay-per-view buys than fucking for any of this stuff, you know? And I'm actually going to bookmark this one just to make sure we have it for Dave Meltzer's dumb moment, because we're just going to look back at it and own him. So shout out Switchblade. Moving along here. So the same day, okay, sorry. So the names on the fake ratings do say Khan, but they read Tony and Nick Khan. So there were fake ratings that came out, right? So Raj Giri had this to say. Something weird was up with the Nielsen numbers this week. Dynamite averaged only 554K viewers with a 0.11 key demo. So remember, Dave and everyone's running with 638K and a 1.4 demo. I think all this shit's retarded, by the way. I just have to fucking go over it because it's what Dave wants to pretend is a real metric to use for their success. So per Programming Insider, which would be their lowest audience and demo rating in show history, it's much lower than the 638 and the 0.14 that was first reported by Dave Meltzer. Oh my God, Dave fucking Meltzer! He got caught, bro. It's their lowest in history. I have to retweet this one more time. I know I've already quote tweeted this and laughed and LOL. So Programming Insider also had NXT at 617K with a 0.12, much lower than the 707 and the higher and the 0.17 key demo. So look, guys, Raj is just a hater. Nope. He's saying it was fucked up for everybody and everyone's shit was much lower. NXT still destroyed. So the number that Raj and PW Torch reported, the demo rating would be tied with 715 as the lowest of the years for the show. That's, hey, and I believe that too. I believe that too for NXT. I've been trying to find out why there was a discrepancy. Where's Dave? The search for David Santiago, right? Right, dude? Where are you at, Dave? So he's been online, hasn't corrected his shit. He's just going to run with the fake numbers. And again, shout out Switchblade holding feet to the fire. Raj as well. Switchblade isn't like a fan of WWE either. That's what's funny. People get so mad at him. He's not like a WWE guy. He just reports the shit what it is, you know? Does his best. Not even reporting, just fucking talking shit on Twitter pretty much, but he at least looks at the stuff and analyzes it, right? Again, I'm not going to go through all this and read you the HH rating, share range, 0.5, blah, 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 blah. I'm a computer now. I'm not going to read all this shit. But there you go. Just like Shakira's hips, the numbers don't lie when it comes to that shit, okay? So Awful Wrestling posts that 554K viewers, not 638, their lowest in history. Their lowest in fucking history, dude. One of them, right? And so again, if Dave studied the business, he'd know he was wrong. He would correct it. If he actually studied and learned, Brian, he would fucking know this. But he just lied to everyone.
Tell us what you know, you goddamn liar!
More on that later. So the question is posed here. Do you think AEW fumbled Ace Austin already? And he posted this cryptic post before we get into more numbers talk. Always an ace up my sleeve. Patience is a virtue. You must know how to play the cards right. It's not a game of chance when you make your own luck. Not if, but when. Hashtag inevitable. He had a debut loss and has just been gone. Ace Austin got signed, chose AEW over WWE and NXT, has one match, is shelved, and then goes, oh, don't worry, guys. Like, what's with everyone in AEW having to post cryptic tweets that aren't storyline? It's them begging to be booked and shit. And then the sickos turn on you and you do this automatically because it's like you're in a fucking cult. Tony had no plan for Ace Austin. He just fucking signed him because this is great. Because Chris Bay will come here too. Fuck you, man. Tony sucks. Tony Khan sucks balls. I know I said the new initiative is for us to become best friends, but it can never happen. I'm sorry, Tony. We can't be together. So NFL, so Millie Football points this out to Dave Meltzer as well. And this could go in Dave Meltzer's dumb fucking moment of the week, and it will. But Dave is just telling lies. It's only in the US, which has 58 million. So Dave, he doesn't understand how the shit works, and he doesn't really study the business. I've studied the business more than Dave Meltzer, and that's a fact. And this is just a daddy magic taste of what's coming after No Mercy here. But Millie Football said NBA simulcast, and this is what we've been trying to beat everyone over the head with, myself and Switchblade and others. We're trying to beat people over the head with this. NBA simulcasts get 10% of their viewership from HBO Max. How does Dynamite get 50% of theirs? So look at Switchblade. What he has to say. NFL does 10% on streaming for simulcasts, and it took them 3 years to get there from 5% initially. It's a grind, bruv. NBA is less than 5%. TNA is about 4% on YouTube for simulcasts. AEW magically does between 50 to 80 per fucking cent.
Best guys, Tony Khan.
It's just not realistic. It's just not realistic. We've buried this fucking thing.
Not fake!
And Dave can't admit this. He can't study the business. Fuck that lie from today. Until people acknowledge this, until regular wrestling fans and the sickos understand this. Just study, read what Switchblade said here. Just study and learn it, Brian. Just fucking memorize this, and you know Dave is just a cold-blooded liar. And this isn't even Dave Meltzer's dumb moment yet. But Brody, on a happier note, Brody Lee Jr. names the WrestleMania 31 Intercontinental Championship ladder match as his favorite match his father was ever involved in, and his favorite match of all time. And there you go. I know Tony signed him up right away so he could just like fucking own this child before he's even old enough to make a choice of where he wants to go in his fucking career. And he wants to follow in his father's footsteps. But his favorite match is WrestleMania 31. And that, ladies and gentlemen, Ichi Nissan Da. For AEW News.
Yeah.